it's me, Vicki Marie. And good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So, welcome to. I'm a little bit bedraggled this morning because it's pouring down with rain. For those of you who don't know, I'm here in mainland Spain. I've got really bad weather at the moment. It's raining, so I've just been out with the doggies and got a little bit bedraggled, but anyway, never mind. I enjoy the rain because we don't get it much here. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today in this video is this mysterious case of little Kyran, or Kyran, maybe it's pronounced. Very strange case over in Ireland. This case, I first reported on it the other day, and there's no updates. Kyran hasn't been found. The police have said they are actually looking for Kyran's body. Kyran is a little boy, 6-year-old boy. The police think he disappeared 2 years ago. And for some reason, it was never picked up until August this year when he was finally reported missing. So it's all a bit of a mystery. What happened to Kyran? Where is he? And why does it appear as if somebody was trying to pass off another little boy as him, trying to pretend that they were him? And also the Child Protection Services in Ireland, which is called Tusla, they're now saying that they were hit by a cyber attack and a lot of their information was stolen, removed or lost. So, what's going to be the outcome of this case, this poor little boy? At the end of the day, what we do know is that Kyran has not been seen for 2 years. 2 years. But for some mysterious reason, he wasn't reported missing until August. So where do I start? Honestly, how it feels with this case is, where do you start? So let's have a look at the Irish Sun. So apparently, we watched the other day, we watched the police being interviewed, a press conference saying that they've been searching the property where Kyran was known to live with his mum. And look at him there, it's this Spider-Man thing. I've got a real aversion to Spider-Man anything, because I've seen so many little boys. I know Spider-Man is common with, little boys like Spider-Man, but this is the third boy that's, come to a tragic end now. That there was little Ziello Marizuvo, I think his name is, who disappeared, who fell off, seems like he fell off his dad's shoulders walking at the side of the river. And was found quite a while later, deceased, drowned. There's William Tyrrell, who just disappeared from his home in Australia, again in a little Spider-Man suit. And now we've got this boy in his little Spider-Man top. It's haunting me, this Spider-Man thing. Anyway, that's Kyran, 6 years old. Looks like a typical sort of cheeky 6-year-old, doesn't he? His little face. Yeah. Where is he? Or where is his body? Because the investigators are saying he's believed to be dead. Now, from what I've read, is a member of the family has said he is deceased. Makes you wonder if this is his mum. His mum was because at first it was his mum and him that were reported missing. But his mum is alive and well in England. So although this Kyran lived in Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, but very close to the border with Northern Ireland, Kyran's mum was found in the UK, in Britain, in England. So whether it's her that has, said that he is deceased, but the person who's thought to have done it, they have not named, but they said that the person they think who's killed Kyran is not a part of the family, but known to the family. So was this some boyfriend of the mum's? We don't know yet. They haven't released any names. No arrests have been made, even though the police have said clearly that they think Kyran is deceased. So apparently they've been checking medical records of doctors and hospitals in the northeast of Ireland to see if little Kyran Durnin was ever brought in with injuries. Paramedic sources say they have no knowledge of ever responding to a 999 call to treat this little boy. Oh, look, here it is in those look, another Spider-Man top. Or is it the same top? Possibly the same top, just a different picture. Oh, look here. So this is his mum, Dayla. She's in England. Yeah, she likes having a photo taken. She's sort of typical young person, I suppose. She's only in her early 20s. Typical young person taking a selfie to put on her social media. So apparently, as it says here, let's look at this, because cops are told that the youngster, 8, not 6, is dead, and was told that by a relative amid fresh property search plans as new details emerge. So they've already done quite a lot of searching of one of the properties where Kyran lived. Let's have a look at this video.
The gardaí in Drogheda and County Louth in Ireland issued a public appeal last week on the 16th of October, and their appeal related to seeking information in relation to the whereabouts of a missing child, Kyran Durnin. During that press appeal last week, the gardaí said that they were hoping for people to come forward with information in relation to his whereabouts. They also indicated that he was reported missing on August the 30th. That's when their investigation commenced. But their press release last week dealt with the fact that they were now investigating the possibility that this child had been murdered, and they had subsequently appointed a senior investigating officer to lead a murder inquiry. The Irish police sealed off a property in Dundalk this morning. They are pointing out that this is mainly an evidence gathering process. The search, it will be forensically examined. You will have the Garda National Technical Bureau there as well, and they are just examining the property to see if it can yield any evidence which might point to the whereabouts of the missing child. It could last for a few days. It just depends on the extensive nature of the search. I know as well that the Gardaí will be searching the inside of the property, but also the back garden as well. And they also indicated today in a press statement that they'd be searching a bit of land beside the property too. So it could take as long that there is no time limit on a search of this nature. I think once they're satisfied.
Now, I just want to say that particular search has finished, that he's talking about, the search of that property, and there was some waste ground at the side. But it's new searches that are going to be starting. This must have been a video that was made last week.
That they have conducted a very forensic search of the site, and they have exhausted all evidential gathering processes. Then
I mean, luckily, if you like, it's quite a small garden, isn't it, compared to what they could be digging up. So they're there with the excavator looking for this little boy. How so very sad. What has happened to this boy? Somebody's killed him. Was it accidental? Was it deliberate? Is it a fit of temper? Is it this, a stepfather or something? Or, is it something unrelated? So I imagine they've got quite a good idea, because if they're talking to the mother, so they've found the mother now, they've made contact with the mother, I would imagine it's her who's actually talking. because they're saying that a relative of his has said he's dead. So now this is a very curious case, because apparently there's been a lot of threats made. So a lot of the family, because you think, God, how could the family not have reported him missing all this time? Well, apparently there's a lot of violence. The person that they suspect to have done this, very violent individual. There's been a lot of threats made, threats on people's lives, etc. So that might, as this case unfolds, that might explain why nobody has reported him missing. I think there's a lot of fear in this case.
They'll move on to somewhere else. They made it a murder inquiry because when the child was reported missing on August 30th, between August 30th and their public appeal last week, so that's almost 2 months, 6 weeks, they have been unable to establish any proof of life of where the child might be. So
that's interesting, isn't it? It's been 2 months before they started appealing for him. The police have probably tried their best, to establish what they could, and they're not getting anywhere. They're not finding him. So now suddenly, so since the end of August till now, or till last week, that's a long time for the police not to make any appeals, even though they know he's missing. So for them to start making appeals, they obviously thought they could maybe find him, and they didn't. So now they're at, they've got to make appeals to the public.
That's why it is their belief that he is presumed dead. There have been no sightings of him since he was last in school in a place called Dundalk in County Louth, and he was in school between 2021 and 2022. So there have been no sightings of him publicly since 2022. And following the investigation into the missing persons case, which was commenced in August the 30th, and here we are in October, that because there is no proof of life and no sightings of him publicly, they believe that he has been murdered. The Gardaí have said that they've received great support from the local community. They're analysing many different aspects of intelligence and information that they have received. But in a press conference today, they did point out that they are still appealing for people to come forward with information, no matter how insignificant they think it may be. They are continuing all efforts to find this missing child, and they're just hopeful that there will be people within the community who will come forward with that information that tells the Gardaí where Kyran is. The press conference today didn't refer to any suspects or anything of that nature. It referred to basically an appeal for information, a search taking place, and a search taking place in the process of gathering evidence, which may lead Gardaí in another different tangent in the hope that they can get some more answers as to where Kyran might be. It is a very peculiar case, and it's something that I've never come across before, and there are certain questions that'll have to be answered.
This is what everyone's saying. I think this is why it is such a massive case, especially in Ireland, obviously. But this case is going to get traction all over the world, isn't it? Because it's like everyone can't believe that in this day and age, in a modern European country like Ireland, how can a child disappear for 2 years before anybody notices? It just seems unbelievable, doesn't it, that it could happen?
Answered as to how an 8-year-old child can go missing for 2 years, which the Gardaí believe. And the Gardaí were only told about his disappearance on August the 30th. They have engaged in a wide-ranging number of investigations and spoken to a number of different people. They have.
Now, I'm not sure who reported him missing. Was it his mum, or was it his grandma? Was it, another member of the family? I'll have a look in a minute, see if I can find out the answer to that.
I've established that the child's mother is in England at the moment, but there is no sign of the child, and that's why they are keen to establish his whereabouts. And because there is no proof of life, it's been upgraded to a murder inquiry with the full resources of any murder inquiry now being given to this investigation. But it's certainly something.
Yeah, so once they upgraded it to a murder inquiry, that does help with resources, because get much more resource. Resources are limited, so they get much more resources for a murder inquiry than they do for a missing persons inquiry, even though it's a child. At the end of the day, if adults go missing, that's one thing. Adults have the independence to go missing if they sometimes adults want to go missing, or they take themselves off somewhere, or they do something to themselves. But it's unlikely that an 8-year-old boy has gone off and been living alone for 2 years. That's just not that's ridiculous, isn't it? So, surely a child has always got to be a priority because they're so vulnerable and they're not independent enough to be, making their own decisions. What was the other thing I was going to say? So poor little Kyran. Oh, that's right. There was in the last video that I did about Kyran, I told you about the fact that he was booked into a bed and breakfast, but not that he was seen, but a child of his name and age was booked in to a bed and breakfast, and there's some speculation that they've been used. So, somewhere along the line, another child has been used to sort of take his identity. But what child would that be? This is a real mystery, this case. It's like he said, everyone's saying the same thing. He's a reporter. The police said the same thing. They've never known a case like it. It's, incredible in this day and age that this could even happen. Normally if a child goes missing, it's pretty quick that it's discovered either through school or, other members of the family or friends or whatever. It's rare for a child to go missing and not be even reported missing for 2 years. I'd say that virtually never happens.
Thing that I haven't come across before, where a child has gone missing for such a long time and then it's presumed dead. But there is a lot of interest in it in Ireland, and everyone is just hoping and praying that they can find them as soon as possible.
Morning, everyone. Last Wednesday, 16th of October 2024, the Garda Síochána issued a public appeal for information on the disappearance of Kyran Durnin, who would now be 8 years old, missing to being dead. Yesterday morning,
I've just realised where I got the 6 years old from, because he was 6 when he disappeared, so he now would be 8 years old. So that's, I was thinking, how did I get his age wrong? But he was 6 when he disappeared.
The 21st of October 2024, acting under a search warrant, gardaí investigating the disappearance of Kyran Durnin took possession of a private house on Emer Terrace, Dundalk. Commencing today, that house will be searched and will be subject of technical and forensic examinations, as will the garden and adjoining open ground to that house. The purpose of these searches is to discover any evidence which might provide us with information as to Kyran's whereabouts or what has happened to Kyran. The house is known to have been Kyran's family home for a period of years up to May 2024. I must emphasise that the current tenants of this house are not connected in any way with Kyran or his disappearance.
Well, we've talked about that before. Imagine it's like that the woman in the girl in the freezer in that place in America. Imagine you buy a property or rent. I don't know if this is bought, rented, or council, whatever, but you're moving into a property, and the next minute the police are descending on you and searching your garden, digging up your garden for possibly for the remains of a little boy. How awful for these people that are in this property. How terrible for them. Big, very traumatic for them.
Síochána can confirm that Kyran was a student in a local national school here in Dundalk up to approximately the end of the 2021-2022 primary school year. Kyran was reported missing along with his mother to Garda Síochána on the 30th of August 2024 and hasn't been last seen.
So it's not the mother that reported him missing then, because she was reported missing as well. So who reported them missing?
On or about the 28th of August 2024. and Garda Síochána has identified the whereabouts of Kyran's mother. Despite extensive inquiries carried out by gardaí to date, Garda Síochána have been unable to either locate Kyran, identify any information on his current whereabouts, or any evidence that he is currently alive. Following inquiries to date, investigating gardaí now believe that Kyran is missing and is in bed. A murder investigation has commenced under the direction of a senior investigating officer based out of an incident room established at Drogheda Garda Station. And Garda Síochána is liaising closely with other state agencies, including Tusla, who are cooperating and assisting fully with this murder investigation. I want to thank members of the public who have contacted the Garda investigation team to date. And Garda Síochána's sole focus and primary concern, and that of the investigation team, is Kyran. We want to discover where Kyran is. We want to discover what has happened to Kyran. I continue to appeal to anyone who has any information in connection with the disappearance of Kyran to contact investigating gardaí. Do not rule out any information that you may have. Please do not assume that the investigation team know the information that you may have. Any information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, will be welcomed by the investigation team. This information will be treated in the strictest of confidence. You can contact the Garda investigation team at Drogheda Garda Station on 041 987 4200 or the Garda confidential line on 1800 666 111 or speak with any member of Garda Síochána. Thank you.
So, so it looks like there's 2 or 3 more properties that they're going to be searching this week. Look at him. Bless him. Bless him. Ay. So she obviously knows something. God, she looks so young. I mean, she is young, but she obviously knows something. I presume she's cooperating with everything. So now what I want to look at is the suspect. Let's see, where is it? Yeah. So the violent suspect in the Kyran Durnin murder probe is a male unrelated to the family, as relatives get outrageous death threats. Now, a male unrelated to the family, well, surely he's got to be like a stepfather or something, because what other person unrelated to the family would have access to him? So apparently this man who knew the 8-year-old child, so again, remember they're saying he's 8 because he would be 8 now if he was still alive, last seen in May 2022, has a history of violence and is known to gardaí. A male unrelated to the family, it's got to be a stepfather, surely. So apparently he no longer has any contact with Kyran's relatives and he hasn't been in touch with them for several months. He's understood to be living in the County Louth area and has not yet been brought in for questioning. Gardaí have been trying to establish his movements over the last couple of years and where precisely he lived. He would have had contact with Kyran and knew him well. So he's got to be a partner of the mother, surely. Has he? So the new sites that they're going to be, let's just have a look at them. The new sites that they're going to search. So they searched a bit of wasteland behind the property. They haven't found anything. But they have identified more sites that they're going to be. So the gardaí are examining social media posts which suggested an area where little Kyran could be buried. The posts, which were made over the weekend and included an image, identified an area which had been revamped in the last 2 years. The image was later withdrawn, but investigators have been made aware of it. So, there's, oh God, I hope they find him. Bless, it seems like this little boy is deceased. For the police to say they believe he's deceased, well, they've got reasons for that, haven't they? So apparently one of his relatives, they said he's deceased. That's probably the mother. Now they found the mother now. She's probably talking, I would imagine, though it sounds like she maybe was scared of the man who's thought to have done it. But again, these are all things to come out. I know we're speculating, but we're not supposed to speculate, but it's difficult not to speculate, isn't it? So the other thing I wanted to tell you, so Tusla, which is the what's the word, like the Child Protection Agency, says that they lost the information on the missing boy in a cyber attack. So let's have a look at that. The information on the missing boy lost in a cyber attack. Gosh. So information held by Ireland's Child and Family Agency, Tusla, on missing Kyran Durnin was lost in a cyber attack. Was it though? Was it really lost in a cyber attack though? The data loss was first reported by the Irish Independent, with the paper quoting sources as saying that the data loss was a matter of concern for gardaí working on the boy's case. Tusla said the system affected by the attack was not the system of record for case notes and was not relevant to an internal review by the agency into its interactions with Kyran's family. A Garda spokesperson said the force does not comment on remarks by third parties, adding that any inquiry on Tusla records is a matter for Tusla. Yeah, did they really have a data attack? So this has brought up, as you can imagine, in Ireland, a massive stink about the Child Protection Agency, Tusla. We had a look at the website, didn't we, in the last video? Yeah. So the police, so the Minister for Children said there was a need to understand what went wrong in Kyran's case. We can absolutely understand all the engagements that this child and his family had with Tusla. So it sounds like there was a regular communication between the Child Protection Agency. This boy's been let down. Oh, you know what? If obviously, I can feel myself getting angry now, because how many times do we have to see these children get let down? Not only by the twonk that kills them, like this twonk is a twonk who's killed him, but the agencies, they've let this boy down. It's like with Sarah Sharif, they let them slip through the net, and next minute they're dead. They bear a responsibility. So, they are the professionals. They are the people who are supposed to save these children. That's what they're there for. That is their duty. That is their job. That is what they do. That's what they get paid for. That's what they get money from the government for. And they just let these children down all the time. You just makes you wonder. I'm going to have a look at this Tusla. Have they got a CEO? I mean, how does it work? It's not a charity, is it? What is it? Tusla, Child and Family Agency. Dedicated state agency. About us. Who runs it? Says it. In 2014, they became an independent legal entity. Stakeholders. So this is on here, it's telling you their services and what they're supposed to do. So who runs it? You know, I just want to know transparency. Let's see. So Tusla is committed to being a transparent and accountable organisation with performance monitoring and management arrangements in place to focus. It's word salad, isn't it? It's word salad. To focus on driving operational performance improvements. We aim to be honest, open, honest, responsible and truthful. Yeah, because we can just say our data was, we had a data attack, a cyber attack. We will seek feedback and use it to inform how we improve our services. Anti-corruption and anti-bribery, open government, whistleblowing, financial transparency. Let's have a look at that. Transparency. I'm interested now. Who runs this? Oh, there's a board. So there'll be a CEO, will they? Contracts, Tusla's. So let's have a look. Or I haven't shared it. So this is the website. Trust, respect, kindness, empowerment. Yeah, not for little Kyran, no. So does Tusla have a CEO? Let's go, yeah. Kate Duggan, Chief Executive Officer for Tusla. Let's have a look at her. So there she is, the Chief Executive Officer of Tusla, Kate Duggan. What's she earning, I wonder? Fortunes. These CEOs, they earn a fortune. What do they actually do? First female CEO appointed at Tusla. Well, she's not been brilliant, has she? Oh, this is interesting in April. Tusla's Chief Executive Kate Duggan. Come on. Is facing an application for attachment and committal to prison over the agency's alleged failure to comply with an order for a young teenager's detention in special care. All right, so she's she's got a little bit of I haven't got time unfortunately to go through that whole situation, but so there's some problems there. What I want to know is what she earns. How will I find out? You can never find out what these people earn. That's another Kate Duggan. You can never find out what they earn. So Bernard Gloucester, he was the previous CEO. He must have died. So he died and he was married 72 years. What? 72 years. Anyway, never mind. I just want to know what this CEO earns. I don't like it when you can't find out what they earn. It should be transparent. Not these are supposed to be government agency of some kind, or ties to the government. Why can't we find out what they earn? Right, 40 grand. Apparently, the last one, which isn't that much for a CEO, to be honest. In the UK, the CEOs can get 350,000 a year. Now here, God, come on, let's have the... So here it's saying 420,000 euros. Here it's saying 367,000 euros. Come on, make your mind up. So when was this? So this was 29th of October 2024. Tusla Chief Bernard Gloucester. This must be another one from... So appointed as new CEO of the HSC. So that's what he's been appointed to now. He's now on 367,000. Are they saying he's gone from 40,000 euros a year to 367,000? Honestly, you go down a rabbit hole with these things. This is dated today. This article can't be today, surely. No, so this is what he took over, but it doesn't say. Annual financial statements. Financial statement of Tusla, page 22. Sorry, once I start looking at this, I want to know now what this woman is earning. This woman, who's the head of this company, and, this boy has died. And then, funny enough, all the records were lost in a cyber attack. How odd. Just as they're trying to find out what's happened to this little boy who had contact with this child protection agency, turns out they've had a cyber attack. It all seems a bit convenient, doesn't it? So, I don't know. This is going to take a bit more looking into. Statement of assets. Where will it have what they pay out for wages? Yeah, you know what I'm like with numbers. I mean, I can't work out numbers, but anyway, one day we'll have a proper look. Just seems odd, doesn't it, that suddenly, just as poor little Kyran, this case has come up, poor little Kyran, suddenly they have the records were lost because of a cyber attack. How convenient. How convenient. Anyway, we need to look at that another time. Yeah, his information has been lost in a cyber attack, apparently. How convenient. Do you know, I don't know how these people sleep at night. Really, I don't. They're earning whatever they're earning. I can't believe that guy's gone from 40,000 a year to 370,000 a year. How much is this woman earning? The CEO of Tusla. She's earning a fortune probably, while boys, not only boys, children are being, dying. And then, just conveniently, it so happens that there was a cyber attack, so they haven't got the information. Tell you what, you just think, does anyone care about these children? So, yeah, days of more questions than answers. Now they've had a vigil for him. Let's have a look at the vigil. Something a bit more positive. It's lovely. These are the people that care about Kyran. You know, not the bloody child protection agency that was supposed to look after children. It's the community that care about this little boy. So they've had a vigil in Dundalk. The event in Market Street on Monday night was the second community gathering organised for the 8-year-old who is presumed dead. Dozens of people congregated for the vigil in County Louth town. Joe, you always see this. So, first of all, the family never reported him missing. Now, maybe they were threatened to be, threatened with violence or death threats or whatever. But, you can go to the police. The police will protect you up to a point, surely. Obviously, they didn't trust the police to protect them. So these people care that have gone to this vigil. They care about Kyran. Thank God somebody cares about him. It's too late for Kyran by the sound of it, but at least somebody cares for him now. Bless his little cotton socks. So that's it really. It's just showing you about the vigil. So I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update as soon as, if Kyran is found or any other sort of, or if they arrest this person. So they've got a suspect, but they haven't arrested them yet for questioning. That's interesting, isn't it? Wonder why not? Probably they wait until they, find Kyran and see that these tips, actually pan out, I'm going to light a candle for Kyran, bless his little socks. Oh, my candle's too far down in the thing. Might have to do a little candle instead. So, yeah, as I say, any update, I'll let you know. I've got to go now. I've got classes. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Spanish teacher. I've got classes today. I'm making this video very early in the morning and I'll release it later on. Yeah, I look a bit like a drowned rat. That's because it's raining outside and I've just taken the dogs out for a walk. So, prayers for Kyran. I've lit a candle for him, bless him. Yeah, we just want him to be found and some justice, This twonk, whoever he is, that's done something to Kyran, he needs to be held accountable. So, unfortunately, it feels like it's probably too late for Kyran. And not only the twonk that's done it to them, but this Tusla, child protection agency, maybe they need to think about more protecting children and not just paying massive salaries to CEOs like these charities and things do. That needs looking at. And gosh, how convenient, a cyber attack. And that cyber attack just happened to take Kyran's records. Gosh, who would know? Who knew? I mean, God, you couldn't make it up, could you? Yeah, that's very convenient, isn't it? Okay, I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God always go with you. Justice for Kyran.